In this world we deal, remember say ya, one day go come when we all go. Before long, we go meet Mama God. When we dey meet Mama God, tell me, waiting, you go say.
With my life damnation, realize all the time we waste. Realize all the great we face. It's all up feminine life-ish. My gosh, we waste. Please sympathize on the lives we raise. Please realize all the female energy. One shot, two shot, three times longer. Carry all the weight of the world on your shoulders. Give a couple pounds to the woman who adores. Force, love and support us. Magic, unbelievable, my universe is right. Introduce the nation to embracing what is factual. Feminine energy, almost mathematical. You can release some of what is infinite in value. Feminine energy, balance of the indestructible, imagine no heaven in time. She sing a melody to pass the time. Give us her energy so she feel mine. If I was astonished by the level of shame, feminine energy never shame again. Rain, tamed, brain, intuition and a vision running through my veins. Go out the love, let me feel it again. Ain't got nothing.
Ain't got nothing on me. Sampa the Great. So right now I'm just listening, getting the lineup together. Later on, more than likely you're gonna hear that song again from the top. Sampa the Great, straight from the motherland. Yeah, she's doing her thing. With energy. Yeah. So the podcast is gonna start in about 3 or 4 minutes. So right now, you're tuning in and watching live from Studio 2B, featuring D Black, doing the GRM Presents Podcast. For all you folks watching the video, we definitely appreciate you. So mostly, because when I started this, I started it with having a guest in mind, a guest to come in, sit down, interview the guest, and at the end, they'll perform one of their shows. This week we don't have a guest, so mainly it'll be me listening to music, providing commentary over there, all that good stuff, rocking out the music. If you like that, you're definitely welcome to continue watching. All right?
With the Holy Ghost. So Ben, you can afford it. I think you need to be your tape recorder. Come on. Oh.
This is actually how I'm going to start it off. I'm going to start it off with this right here. People who are really in the early 90s hip hop, the intro, you might remember from Gotta Love Me or Leave Me Alone by Brand New Beats. Except for that beginning part. I'm kicking it off with this, mainly because I'm in San Francisco. And this is a dope song by Miss or Mrs. Bobby Humphrey, a jazz flute player from the 70s. She made some rocking songs. We're going to kick it off with this. San Francisco Live. I'll get it all ready. Get it ready. In a minute, we'll be ready to rock. Gotta get ready for the countdown with this. The way the equipment working the station, everything goes according to a time schedule. So when it gets to a certain time, it'll be ready to start the show. All right, we're coming to that time now. Probably about 40 more seconds. We'll kick it off. So now it's time for me to really start watching the clock so I can start this show on time. Because if I don't, and I'm playing it back, it'll be a delay. So I want to get it as close to exact as possible. So even though I got it kind of exact, still might be a delay on the playback in a few seconds. 4 or 5 seconds, that's pretty good, but you don't want it to get it to where it's like somebody press play on the show and it's 20 seconds, 25 seconds before they hear something. So 5 or 10 is all right. So we try to get it in that area like that. San Francisco Live. San Francisco Live. San Francisco Live. San Francisco Live. See, I like to start my shows off smooth. Because if you don't do it smooth, really, there's no other way of doing it. So we got to do this smooth. So that's the way I like doing it. I like to start it off smooth with some of this jazz. Get them up with that jazz, move them to that R&B, get them with the funk, then bring in the rap and the hip hop. And mix in some other stuff in between, maybe some rock, some pop music and stuff, just give them a good variety. So that's what we try to do here on the GRM Presents Podcast, giving you a nice variety to listen to. Not like the run-of-the-mill commercial station. You pretty much can predict the 4 or 5, maybe 6 songs you'll play. I'm liable to play anything here. At the same time, remember, I accept submissions, music submissions from independent artists. So, yeah, you're liable to hear anything from anyone around the country, around the world. Speaking of which, if you like to submit music, send your music either in MP3 form. You can send me YouTube links, SoundCloud links, Spotify links, even though I don't prefer them method, but you can send those as well. So send them to GRM Presents at yahoo.com. Make sure you include links to your website, bio. If you don't have a bio, just give me 3 or 4 sentences telling me who you are, what kind of music you make, and all that good stuff. If I like it, I'll play it on the podcast. You can guarantee that, right? Peace. What's going on, folks out there? Once again, we're here for another episode of the GRM Presents Podcast. This is a kind of special broadcast, being that officially this is the 50th episode of the broadcast. So I appreciate everyone who's been with us from the very beginning. I appreciate you greatly. Matter of fact, I wasn't even thinking about doing this broadcast for this long, because it was really started just to promote the second annual GRM Award Show. That's really why we started the broadcast, just to do that, and then it just sort of like took off. I kind of enjoyed doing it, so I decided to continue, doing episodes and broadcasts. Usually I try to do it every week, but certain things come up and you just can't, because this is one of these things to where this is an actual studio broadcast. So I know a lot of people, they have the luxury of doing their podcasts, doing their radio shows from home. This is like an actual studio that I have to go to do the broadcast. I can't just, I guess conceivably I could at some point, probably pre-record the show and, send it in and have it played. But right now, when you're hearing the show, I'm doing it live in the studio in San Francisco, downstairs in a basement that, from my knowledge, it used to be it was either a Greyhound bus terminal or an Amtrak terminal, early San Francisco in the early 20th century. But enough about that. So again, thank you for joining me. And this is the 50th episode, and we'll be playing some good music like we usually do, a great variety. So for people who are listening for the first time, because I've been getting a lot of submissions from different musicians from around the country. So if you're listening, your song will be played tonight. I know in the beginning you'll be hearing a lot of smooth jazz and a lot of smooth type music. That's the way I like to start it off, because check it out. If you don't start it smooth, there's really no other way of doing it. So we have to start it smooth in order to do it correctly, in my estimate. So that's the way we're going to do it. So anyway, we'll be hearing some smooth music starting off. Songs from new artists. Also, this is a unique situation because, again, this is for people who tuning in for the first time. This particular station has, even though it's a small station, don't think it's like a large commercial station. It's not by any means non-commercial, but it does have a the owner has a license with ASCAP, so that gives the radio podcast host the ability to play anything they want. So I can play mainstream music as well as independent, and I take advantage of that. So you might hear something spectacular from someone you've never heard before, and at the same time, the next opportunity, you're hearing Michael Jackson, you're hearing Stevie Wonder, you're hearing like you just heard Bobby Humphrey and Lonnie Liston Smith. You'd be hearing more of that, So mainstream, whatever type of music, whatever I like. Really, that's mainly the number one criteria. Whatever I like in this 3-hour segment will get played. So, and again, yeah, we'll be playing, all kind of great music, a great variety. Also, I'll be talking about some upcoming GRM events. One in particular, we're doing the Victory Brunch November 1st in Oakland. From officially from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. For certain artists and talent involved, you will have an opportunity to come early for a special thing we're doing right before the brunch. For interviews, moments to take pictures as well, and right after that, just before the brunch and the performances, we will have a press conference as well. You'll be able to be asked questions by whatever press we have there. So you definitely want to check out the Victory Brunch November 1st at Music Notes Academy. I think the address, I believe, is 3661 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland. If I have to correct it, I will. But yeah, so Music Notes Academy, or excuse me, I think it's Notes Music Academy. That's the correct name. And it's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be talking more about that later. Also, I'll be doing, talking a little bit about sports, having a couple of current events, things that are happening in the news. I will be giving some movie reviews. And since we're in October, getting close to Halloween, these movies will be, I guess, in the realm of thrillers, possibly, I guess you can call them horror movies. I'll be talking about them. And I've seen a couple of movies that were pretty good. A couple of them that were pretty good. I've seen 2 or 3 that were wow. They were wow. But I'll leave that for the reviews. So man, wow. And again, I can't be too hard on movie makers because I haven't made a movie. I haven't made a movie. Now at some point, and I had my good buddy Joseph Camilleri here a few weeks ago. I would like to do what he's doing, not acting, but I would like to take a shot at being a movie producer. I think I can do that. Make sure for you movie lovers out there that you be getting some movies that would be pretty entertaining. Not because some of these movies, man. They're pretty bad, but anyway, man, we gotta get back into some more music. Who do we got up next? We got Roy Ayers. What is this song called? This song is called Liquid Love. Liquid Love. Love is good, especially when it's liquid. Check it out on the GRM Presents Podcast. Hey, folks, watching live from Studio B. You guys like that introduction? You like how I put that animation in my voice, added some excitement, to keep the people intrigued. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Hey, it's my time, so I decide how it goes down. Right. Talk to you later. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Outside to the sky. I wanna do say move. Say move. Say move. Say move. You don't be up. You got grip the hips and move. Grip the hips and move.
Alice Coltrane. Back. So we heard Liquid Love by Roy Ayers. We follow that up with Thigh High by Tom Brown. Tom Brown. Yeah, and yeah, Tom Brown, he has another song. Can't think of that song, but that song pops in my mind because, like in Thigh High as well, there's a lady, she has the part where she does some singing. Everybody used to think that lady was Shaka Khan. Like one time on the other song, I can't think of that other song. Very famous song. They play it at all the picnics. It'll be one of the barbecues, parties. We get the large family gatherings, and they'll play that song. I can't think of that song. Um, uh, what's the name of that song? But anyway, they thought that woman who was singing, the vocalist, was Shaka Khan. And one time I was watching, or excuse me, I was listening to the audio version of that song on YouTube, right? And they even said Tom Brown featuring Shaka Khan, right? But for that other song, they actually have a video of it. And you watch the video and you see the woman who's singing. It's not Shaka Khan. Don't know who the woman is. That she kind of sounds like Shaka Khan, but it's not Shaka Khan. So also on that set, we had Alice Coltrane. I believe she's the wife, or was the wife of John Coltrane. And that song was, give me a second to pronounce the title of the song. Give me a second. Let's see. Tiryana and Ram Krishna. So that's the name of that song. It's a great composition, by the way. Yeah, very great. So also, let me mention something else about the brunch event that we're having November 1st. I wanted to say something key about it. Also was that for my guests would have an opportunity to certain guests. We'll be open to anyone, but people will have a chance to win a prize. Some individuals have already won a prize, but I'll be doing some giveaways. You might have to answer a trivia question of sorts, or hey, I might surprise you. I might say, guess sitting in the third row, the third seat from the right, won a prize. It could be something like that. The only way for you to find out for certain, you have to show up. So, go get your ticket now. If the link is not currently posted, I believe, it is posted. So, look up the GRM Victory Brunch, GRM Awards Victory Brunch on Eventbrite. It should be there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we have it as an open event on the Eventbrite. So if you want to get tickets, I believe they start at $20, and that's a bargain because you'll be getting food, you'll be getting entertained, have the opportunity to win a prize. And usually, if you go by my reputation, I give away some good stuff. I don't give away any cheap stuff. You won't be getting a pack of chewing gum with me. You'll be getting something that you would like, something that you would really enjoy. So definitely you want to come out to the GRM Awards Victory Brunch happening November 1st. Tickets are on sale now. Go to Eventbrite and get your tickets. Like I said, I think the general is $20, I believe. I do think we have VIP tickets as well. So you'll be getting something extra being a VIP. And again, it'll be something that you would definitely want to receive. We don't do any cheap, skate, broken down gifts and VIPs here. We do high quality. So definitely you want to go and buy those tickets, get the VIP tickets as well. So right now, let's get into some more music with Eyes, Still a Rainbow, GRM Presents Podcast. Check it out.
I'm ready, I'm ready. You change me, I'm still the same. You do the house down, but I'm still right now. I bet you want it, I'm coming out. I'm ready and I'm here. I bet you want it, I'm coming out. I'm ready and I'm here. No one seems to the truth ain't around. You I can do I calm down. I'm ready to go. I thought I was good. I can't let. I'm living free. I bet you want it. I'm coming out. I'm ready and I'm here. I bet you want it. I'm coming out. I'm ready and I'm here. You couldn't play me. I'm still the same me. You couldn't choose it. I never lose it. You blew the house down. Boy, I'm still round. You can stop it, but boys are ain't happy now. I bet you wrote it. I'm coming out. I'm ready and I'm here. I bet you want it. I'm coming out. I'm ready and Every now and then I run into some things that don't make life easy. People turn to hate, make a pleasant thing. But every time I fail, I try a different way. I'm gonna make my story. You can't stop me now, this is what I'm about. If you have a dream, you better stand up and take it as it comes. If anybody ever breaks me down, I fall and knock it right back up. Some people try to hurt you real bad. It's a pain and motivation. And every time I don't succeed, I will say I can't be right. Another flame, risking everything. Same old story. Gotta protect my name. Try to break the chains. Don't wanna be tamed. All on the floor, asking for more. It's never enough. Wear it on my sleeve. You get what you see. If you have a dream, you better stand up and take it as it comes. If anybody ever breaks me down, I fall and knock it right back up. Some people try to hurt you real bad, so pain is motivation. And every time I don't succeed, I just say I can't be right. I just say I won't If you have a dream, you better stand up and take it as it comes. If anybody ever breaks me down, I fall and knock it right back up. Some people try to hurt you real bad, use the pain as motivation. And every time I don't succeed, I will say I can't keep up. No, no, I just say I won't give up. No, no, no.
Look, we should just be living days. Pray to God and meditate. Lift my spirits, levitate. Use my words for better days. I would knock it down. Fuck this celibate, let's celebrate. Find a trick and celebrate. No calendar, I selling dates. Go on for that cheddar, man. I sell my brakes and accelerate. No stopping, change my fuel injectors. I won't hesitate. Elevate from all corruption, takes and not these 7 days. Weakness, I won't illustrate. Power with the heaven gate. to the sky. I've been threatened, I'm manifesting devil every fucking second. I know God can hear my thoughts relentless, fucking up my blessings. Regret, cold nights of sweat from my future vision. Evil issues, backing for my switching. Headache, my your business. Virgo told me that's the fucking rule, bro. Make a poor decision. Wouldn't change my outlook. God, I can't see what it's feeling. Tell me my intent to be a hero. Now I'm turning villain. Cold hearted, and I'm chilling. Blood rising, keep me chilling. Eyes looking fine, crooked time till you die. When it's 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Straight with his die, listen. Trigger finger, glide, tipping. Sorry if the choice I made was wrong. God, I did not listen. I just need some God living. Reinstate my God given. My hair must be dreaded till my brain goes to my mind. Need that. Can't think about it. All this bullshit I ain't waiting. It's messing with my spirit. Need that. Yeah, need about it. All this bullshit I ain't waiting. It's messing with my spirit. A wise man must hold. Strength is the ability to lift, and power is the ability to control strength. God, I ask you, help me control my power, Lord. Some people need power to protect, I need power not to.
That was Chico Manolo with Power, one of our favorites, favorite artists to play on the show. Also, heard another one of our favorites, Eyes was Still a Rainbow. And in between them, you heard a song by a new artist. The song was called Motivation by uh, Tora, will, what's her name? Tora Woloshin. Tora Woloshin with Motivation. That was a very, very inspiring song. We'll definitely be hearing a lot from her in the near future. Very talented young lady. Shouts out to Tora. Thank you for the submission. We appreciate it greatly. So right now, we're gonna get into let's see, what do we have here for my good people? Is it time for some news? Yeah, it's time for some news. We're gonna have some news. We're gonna have something from Town Biz, Sports and Entertainment. His take on some recent current events. Check this out, and we'll be back on GRM Presents Podcast.
You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys. Gang. All right, man. Check this out. All right. Well, it appears that Dr. Dre has scored a W over his soon-to-be ex-wife, Nicole. The judge rejected her $2 million per month in temporary spousal support until the divorce is final. He also rejected that Dr. Dre paid basically $5 million to her lawyers and attorney fees. So basically, Nicole has took a L, a big one at that, when she tried to explain why she needed $2 million a month and temporary spousal support. It just sounded absurd. And at the end of the day, this is a big deal for all you gold diggers out there. Talking about, well, she has, get out of here. Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. Get out of here, man. For real. So he can take care of the children on his own. From what I heard, all the children is grown, old enough to drink. So he doesn't owe her anything and child support and all that kind of stuff. Get out of here with that stuff, man.
Yeah, get out of here with that.
It's important that she deserves something, yes, because she was married to him for, over 20 years. Did she deserve half of this stuff? Absolutely not. like I said, how many beats did she help put together? How many songs did she help write? How many hours did she spend in the studio? Please stop it with the shenanigans. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Just stop it. Just stop it. Okay? Just don't come on here with that BS. Ain't nobody trying to hear that stuff. You know, just like I said, if this was the flip side, I would be saying the same thing. You know, real talk. If this was, you know, a rich black woman and the man would see half her, I'd be saying the same thing. So don't try to make this a gender thing. You know, I'm making this I'm making this more of a work ethic thing because of Dr. Dre's work. He pretty much did all this stuff. And he was already established before she came along. So don't even try that either. But nevertheless, this is what Town Biz. I'm out.
Yeah, definitely had an interesting take on that. And, I agree, and I'm gonna say this. This is what happens when you have good lawyers. You know, Dr. Dre is wealthy enough to where he can afford the best lawyers, and they pretty much can. Well, they did. They definitely knocked that one out of the park. I mean, she'll of course she'll get something, and she does deserve something. But you know, they kind of like said it like, well, you know, you're not going to get anything ridiculous. You'll get something, but not anything ridiculous. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out, and I'm sure you know, when we get some more news about that, you know, Town Biz will have something interesting for us to check out. So if you want to check out the channel, you know, go to YouTube and search Town Business, Town TOWN, Business BIZZNIZZ. So Town BIZZ. Excuse me, Town Biz double Z Nis NIZZ JS, or you can just, you know, simply search Town Business Sports and Entertainment. Any pretty much any combination of Town Biz, Town Business, it'll pop up. You know, and he got a lot of other interesting stuff. Especially a lot of good boxing news, other sports topics as well. He does a lot of videos about shoes, you know, Jordan, stuff like that. He got a lot of good stuff, so definitely want to check him out. And we're gonna stick to talking about news, specifically sports, and this kind of goes out to the 49ers fans. You know, I used to be a really big 49ers fan growing up, but like when I'm listening to the videos and some of the you know, sport news and hearing some of the fans, man, they just sound really whiny and already in panic mode, which you really shouldn't be panicking about anything, because you got to think about it like this. This season is a different type of season. They didn't really have any preseason or anything like that. So like the first 3 or 4 weeks, it's kind of like a preseason. They kind of like knocking off the rust, getting ready, so they're not fully executing, you know. And of course, we have some really bad teams out there. But for the good teams, you know, like really the only team that's really fully executing that I see really probably 2. You can say the Kansas City Chiefs and the Seattle Seahawks. Those are like 2 teams that are fully executing. Everybody else still look kind of rusty, the 49ers included. You know, they're kind of rusty. So, you know, so stop panicking. 49 fans and the newscasters. I know you guys coming up with like interesting takes, but it's like, 1 week you praising one guy, the next week you wanna burn him at the stake. It's like you guys are panicking. You guys are supposed to be professional journalists. Stop panicking. Stop panicking. Let the season play out. And the 49ers are still gonna be pretty good. They're gonna end up going to the playoffs. They might not win the division, but they'll go to the playoffs. They'll make some noise. Be patient. Let it play out. It's still early. Stop panicking. So another thing with sports, which is getting really bad, is that, and it's a good thing that everybody has the ability to write about sports, make videos about sports, do podcasts about sports, but everybody want to act like they're some kind of insider, like with the upcoming NBA draft. There must be a million articles about somebody thinking they know what the Warriors gonna do. Oh, the Warriors are gonna pick this player. The Warriors gonna do this. The Warriors are high on LaMelo Ball. The Warriors don't like LaMelo Ball. The Warriors like James Wiseman. Oh, the Warriors are not going for Wiseman. They want to go for Anthony Edwards. Oh no, they're not going to draft Anthony Edwards. You don't know what the Warriors are going to do. The only ones who know what the Warriors are going to do for sure would be Bob Myers and Steve Kerr and one of the owners. They got two owners. One is real public about being the owner. The other one is like low key. They might know, but nobody else really don't know. So just say you speculating. You don't know what they're gonna do. You don't know who they're gonna draft. You don't know if they're gonna trade your draft pick. You don't know. So again, coming up with these 500,000 mock drafts, you don't know what the Warriors gonna do. Because guess what? They don't tell what they're going to do. Why? Because they don't want the other team to know what they're going to do. So you don't know. Only thing you do know for sure, they're going to draft somebody, keep the pick, or either draft somebody, trade the pick. One of those two things. But do you know who they picking? No, you don't know who they picking. Probably got some idea. Probably somebody in the top 10 they may pick, but you don't know for sure who the Golden State Warriors will pick. But and again, I'm not knocking the fact that anybody can write news, anybody can make a video about sport news, or do a podcast, a radio show about sport news. I'm not really knocking the fact, but it's just that, some of this stuff is just ridiculous. Some of these takes are just, it mainly is people acting like they're an insider. Everybody's not no NBA insider. You didn't get this news from the NBA. You just made this up off the top of your head, trying to get, eyes to look and ears to listen to, what you're saying, but you don't know jack about what any team is gonna do. You're just saying what you think they might do. That's what it is. Not that for sure, what they gonna do. So that kind of just, come on, man, really coming up with these, and some of the stuff don't make sense. Some of the trade scenarios, it's like, it's ridiculous. And people who follow sports, they know what I'm talking about, man. They know what I'm talking about. So anyway, we're gonna get back to some more music. We're gonna go old school for a minute. And I'm gonna play some more new songs and stuff like that. We really gonna get the new songs rolling. go get that rolling, then I'm gonna come back and maybe not now, but maybe in the next hour do some movie reviews. So check this out with Darundo. Didn't I?
Treat you right.
Didn't I?
Did not do the best. Did not give you
Didn't I?
try my best just to why you wanna leave me, baby? Let me kiss you over me.
What? Can't hear you. What you say? Oh,
I can feel that you're scared. I am scared, so let's be scared so I can fight. Who do I fight? Not myself, not today. I won't play that game, not today. Got you home, everything you from home, on your shoes, on your back, even back home, it's not so come on, I know so, just know that you are on your own, but it's okay, 'cause we all here with you. I'm here with you. Hold my hand and let go. Like an echo on how you see the world today. We're on our way out of the forest and dying with people right now. Look out, how we let this be. We watch on our team. Beat us, it's so easy. We all know because we're one. I can come over, you can come closer, let me know. You can have it, or we can crash it. I'm just trying to chill. Tell me what you like, baby. Tell me what you like. I can give it to you all night. Let me know, so you can come closer. Tell me if it's real. I can be your sugar, iced tea, honey, just on me. You can ride, put your head on the swivel. Got work at 45, but I can hang for a little. The presence of your essence is a blessing, baby. It got me questioning. Is it love or maybe just a fling? My heart ready to sing. I know you're a black king, so treat me like I'm your queen, and we could be royalty. Now come over, baby, and show me all that loyalty. I come over, you can come closer. Let me know, dear. Girl, can have it, or we can bash it. I'm just trying to chill. I'm just trying to share. Tell me what you like, baby. Tell me what you like. I can give it to you all tonight. Let me know so you can come closer. Tell me if it's real. And if it's real, baby, let me know, baby. I'm coming home, baby. You can come over, baby. I'm all grown, baby. But still, no babies. You got my back achy and got my legs shaky. Been trying to get with you and maybe we get physical, baby. You are a miracle. Your girl gets some lyrical. Not sticking to the principle. Still your heart like a criminal. Ain't down with subliminal. Slow it down cause it's critical. My love is invisible, cynical, digital. Now it's typical. One type of issue I've been trying to commit to. Is it too soon if I call you my boo? I've been thinking about you. Now my ocean is blue. Put on that shot they undo. Now I'm cooking for you. Baby, I've been waiting on you to come through. Keep my composure, slower, baby. You ain't no poser. Get lucky, you my clover. Keep it there, cause I'm closer. I come over, you can come closer. Let me know, dear. Girl, can have it, or we can bash it. I'm just trying to chill. I'm just trying to share. Tell me what you like, baby. Tell me what you like. I can give it to you all tonight. Let me know so you can come closer. Tell me if it's real. Dive in, rewind it, wind it. Dive in, wind it. Oh, baby, what's the deal? What's happening? Action is surreal. Oh, you surprise me. excite me. I'm not the greatest, but tonight I might be. Rock the boat a little slow, and we can go with the flow. If you chillin' and feeling it, that's a good time for show. Cause the fact is, you so attractive. I'm feeling your energy and I'm matching. But adaptive, so what was happening? Back to back every moment, it's so climactic. Let's get real active, ain't on no hack shit. Super fly, I'm that guy that you ain't had yet. I come over, you can come closer, let me know. Yeah, you can have it, or we can bash it. I'm just trying to chill. I'm just tell me what you like, baby, tell me what you like. I can see what you like. Let me know so you can come closer. Tell me if it's real. Uh-uh. 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 Yeah.
And we're back. And we're back. Like I said, music pause for now. So anyway, we had a lot of wonderful artists in that set. We mentioned the Renato. Also, we heard with Where Are You Going? Cleo Soul with one. And we ended it with a new artist, Nanas, with Closer featuring Javon. And that's actually a Bay Area born and bred artist from the East Contra Costa area, out Pittsburgh, Antioch, Brickwood over there. There's a lot of talent over there. And you'll be hearing a lot more from her and her whole conglomerate. So definitely check out Nanas, Closer, Javon, who's also a great artist, and you'll be hearing his song later on in the show. So let's get into some movie reviews. So last week I had a chance to, I think I had a chance to watch about 4 or 5 different movies. One interesting movie I've seen was this movie called Ride. It's based around, in their world, you know how we have Uber and Lyft and other ride share apps. It's based around this ride share app called Ride. So it starts off, you got this homicidal maniac. He just finished killing this lady. So he kills this lady. So instead of having his own getaway car, he calls a ride service. So he takes take this service called Ride, and he actually asks the guy to along the ride. He's talking to the guy. They're having a good conversation, and he asks him go to this remote site location so he can smoke a cigarette. So him and the ride share driver smoking a cigarette, all that stuff, chit chatting and all that. So they get back in the car. Ride share guy gets back in the car. Homicidal maniac guy gets in the car. What does he do? He strangles the ride driver, toss him in the trunk, and just start taking over his ride share vehicle and start picking up people, driving them around. Some people, if they don't irritate him, get on his nerves, he actually lets them live. If they're a cool little ride, he lets them live. anybody who gets on his nerve, like this one woman, she got on his nerve. So he took her somewhere and he and he put on his black gloves and he pummeled. I mean, he literally beat this woman to death. Jumped back in his car, and there's like another a twist in it, sort of like another part of this story. There's like a couple, and we actually see the couple in the beginning. They kind of get along, but it's one of those situations where the husband or the boyfriend, he sort of always, whatever his wife, girlfriend does, he don't take an opportunity to sort of like insult her, give her a backhand compliment, or something like that. So they get a ride with the homicidal maniac guy. He, again, he's sort of like, putting down the woman and all that situation. They get to their destination. She's going to a birthday party for a friend, right? He don't like her friend. Matter of fact, he spends the whole time talking on the telephone. He don't even participate in a party. All that stuff. They get back and ride guy. He kind of developed like a little, I guess, crush on the wife. So he like when he takes him back home, he hands her the car and say, hey, you want to just, hey, call me if you just need a ride, whatever. And then he goes back to his situation. He picks up some more people. These four party girls. One he takes on, the other other three, he takes them to their destination. One falls asleep in the front. Other two are being real irritating and flirting with the guy. Hey, come, we're about to go take a swim. So they go take a swim. Come with us. So he gets out of the car. You're thinking, okay, maybe the homicidal maniac guy is not that crazy. So anyway, he gets there. He takes off his clothes like he's gonna jump in the pool, right? Right. So the girls are coming on to him. This fool, in Three Stooges style, he bashes their heads together and just proceeds to just wipe them out. One thing about this movie, they want you to really get to see that this guy is a homicidal maniac. So when he kills somebody, they really overdo it in his action of like if he's stabbing somebody, he's not gonna just stab him once. He's gonna stab him like 20 times. Like in the scene at the pool, one girl he just drowned. The other one he stumps her to death. And again, he don't stump her once or twice. He stumped her like 20 or 30 times. So yeah, and again, it just gets more wild from there. And it's a pretty good movie. Like I said, if you don't like intense violence, then this wouldn't be the movie for you. But if you're somebody who intense violence doesn't bother you, then it's a pretty good movie. It's a pretty good movie. They tie in all the loose ends, and actually at the end they make it so that it can be a possible sequel. So check out the movie Ride. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Had an opportunity to see a couple other movies. Actually, these are kind of like old school. These were like movies that when they first came out, other students at the school would talk about them, and it's like, my mother was like, well, no, you're not going to see these movies. It's like, you guys, you be staying up all night being scared. You're not seeing a movie called Mausoleum or The Gates of Hell and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, it was like years went past. I forgot about them. Then you got these movie streaming platforms like Netflix, Vudu, Tubi TV, which practically any movie can be streamed. So anyway, I hadn't recently had a chance to check out Mausoleum, and opening a Mausoleum is just funny. It's funny because it first of all, when it comes on, it don't look like a motion picture. It looked like a TV movie. You know how TV movies come on and stuff like that. How they present the credits on the screen, and how the outside, the film they use. It looked like a TV movie. It don't look like a motion picture. So we have this scene, and apparently it's scene in the graveyard. A graveyard, and it's two females, older female, younger woman. A young girl looks to be about 13, 14, and apparently her mother died, and her auntie is trying to console her and say, hey, we're gonna go home. So suddenly the girl breaks away and just starts running or slow jogging through the graveyard. And then they flash back to the end. She's like she gave the most extreme acting in that situation. They were, no, Susan, no. And the girl is slow. She's not sprinting from you. She's literally slow jogging into the graveyard. You couldn't have just ran after you, just screaming, no, Susan, no, Susan. Then something else happened, right? So this girl is slow jogging through the graveyard. Keep in mind, it's like the middle of the day. It's the middle of the day. It's sunny, right? It's sunny. So she's slow jogging. She's slow jogging through the graveyard, right? And then there's this mausoleum, right? Looks like a house. It's a mausoleum. So, and it's not just a house. And mind you, like I said, it's sunny. But around this house is like smoke coming up out of the ground. There's a thunderstorm around the house. So the girl looks like, I guess in her mind, yeah, this is a good place to go. So yeah, she goes into the house with the only house in the middle of the graveyard that's in the daytime and it's sunny. And there's a thunderstorm with smoke coming around it. It's like, why would anybody go in that house? For some reason, she goes into this house. Right, and it's locked. And so instead of the door opening, like in a normal scary movie, the lock just explodes. It just blow up. She goes in and wakes up some kind of demon, and it's just crazier over there, right? So it's supposed to be 10 years, right? And again, it's a side note. So the actress they play her, right? So the girl, when it first started, she looked to be 12, right? So the woman, they get to play her, and in their time it's 10 years. The woman looked like she's about 45. Husband looked 50, and it's like, okay, you expecting us to believe this woman is 24, then they say she's 30 or whatever like that. It's a funny movie how they decide you're gonna have the demon or whatever kill people. It's not scary at all. They actually had LaWanda Page. She was the best thing about the movie. She had a small role. She was playing the housekeeper or something like that, the husband, like her she had a couple of scenes, but in her most memorable scene to us was like he's going somewhere, and he asks her, "Hey, keep an eye on Susan for me." Blah 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 blah. While I come back, right? So she goes upstairs, right? So there's smoke in the hallway, green light emanating from underneath the door, and this was the only thing that was funny about that scene, because I mean, if a black woman see that, she's out that second. She's not waiting. She ain't going in to check on nobody if they're not in her family. She's out. But they had her go in there and look at the door, and she's like, yeah. At that point, she ran out and left. That was probably the best part of that particular movie, because, like I said, it's not scary. It has kind of continuity problems, something like that. Having somebody supposed to be 10 years, right? But they aged 30, 40 years in 10 years. So Mausoleum was pretty bad. I couldn't see how anybody would be scared of that movie. So let's go to the Gates of Hell, which was an interesting movie. That one was a little bit better done. It actually looked like a real film. I think it may have been released maybe like maybe even 1979, 1980, judging by what the people were wearing, the fashions and stuff like that. So anyway, it starts off for some reason this priest commits suicide, right? He hangs himself, and as he's hanging himself somewhere else, there's like some people, I guess some witches having a seance, and one of the witches passes out and apparently dies. So we are led to believe, right? So they do an investigation. They had this one scene with this black, and I don't know if the black guy actually talked like he was the lead detective, but it seemed like his voice was overdubbed, and they had some white guy pretending to be a black guy doing the voice. It just sounded it sounded like somebody was trying to sound or talk what they believed a black person, a black man would talk like back in 1979. So it's ridiculous. Another ridiculous part, they had this one lady, like whenever she talks in these long monologues, right? And so what the people who were shooting it do, they get a close up where you just see her eyes, and it's like she's obviously talking to the camera. She's saying this long exposition. The gates of hell are now open, and they're not closed by November 1st. Hell on earth will break out, and blah 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 blah. She does it about 2 times in the movie, and they had one scene that was like all through the scene. Like the theme is that since the priest died, a lot of bad stuff happening. Just the city is suddenly all foggy and stuff like that. You sitting in your house, pictures are falling off the wall, and the foundation of the house is shaking. Your walls crack open in the middle. Then it's this one scene about with these 2 people making out, right? So they decide to make out in front of the church with a priest. A lot of strange stuff already happening, but you want to go make out right in front of the church where the priest hung himself. And lo and behold, they see a vision of the priest hanging, and then the priest is by their car, right? So it's a man and a woman in the car, right? And for some reason, when a woman looks at the priest, the ghostly priest outside of the car, right? Suddenly, blood starts flowing from her eyes. And so her boyfriend's looking shocked. Now, he does a good job, but this guy really looks scared. So of course the car won't start. He's trying to get out of the car, but suddenly the car won't let him unlock it. So his girlfriend, she's bleeding from the eyes, and they do this thing where for some reason she started coughing up all her internal organs, and he's watching that, getting real scared and trying to open the door. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, we know you can't unlock the door. Why don't you kick out the glass window? You can still break the window and get out the car. You don't have to just stand in it. So, he's standing there. So suddenly, after she coughs up her internal organs, she turns into some kind of zombie with the power of just squeezing the top of your head and crushing your skull, pulling out your brains. That was probably the most effective scene in there, right? So so the gates of hell are open. They got 4 or 5 days to close them, right? So for some reason, the only guy who would be willing to close the gate is some journalist who teams up with the witch who died in a seance, but she didn't. Because while they was burying her, she woke up in a coffin, and the journalist guy, sort of saved her. So they have to be together, and they go on this quest. And again, there's no urgency in their quest. They taking all the time in the world to go close the gates of hell or whatever. Lady is not really sure. Are these are actual gates? You have to go into the spiritual world. Is there a physical place you got to go to close these gates? They're not too clear on that. You just got to close the gates of hell before November 1st, or hell on earth will break out. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's like I said, it's a little bit more watchable than Mausoleum, but overall, don't waste your time with it. And yeah, and I was at the end of the day, I was happy my mother didn't waste our hard-earned money taking us to the theater to see those horrible movies, because they were horrible, not in a scary way, but just horribly bad. Now another movie I've seen is not really a scary movie per se, but it might be a scary movie for certain particular kind of people. It was called Black Cop, and actually about a month and a half ago, my brother recommended Black Cop to me, and I had an opportunity to see it a few days ago. Pretty good movie. And it's about this obviously black police officer, and it's about him getting to the point to where it's the last straw for him. He goes over the edge in a interesting way, because it starts off with him being a typical black cop. How most people would view a black cop, especially in this type of environment, as a sellout. He's at a rally as one of the police officers on duty, and people like, well, basically calling him in Uncle Tom and all that stuff to his face. He just kind of just laughing it off and stuff like that. And also in this movie, there's a reoccurring theme of a young man in a green hoodie who the cops seem to always see. You see this reoccurring character everywhere, looks at him and stuff like that. Sometimes the young man will talk to him. Other time he just sees him, the cop would notice him. So like I said, he goes through, he does his job. People telling him how to do his job or what he's not doing. That kind of gets on his nerve. Of course, police killings of unarmed black people. Even though he's a cop, he still feels a kind of way about that. But the last straw was that he's going to the store. He buys some water. And he's off duty, so he's in He just got finished doing the run, so he kind of like in workout clothes, like a jogging suit. And two cops stop him, and they give him the business. He actually gets to the point to where he's handcuffed in a police car. They let him go, and they call. They say, "Hey, guy, if you would have just told us you was one of us, it wouldn't have been a problem. But you acted irate and aggressive, so we had to do this and blah blah blah." So that was the last straw. So he's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna be a cop, but I'm gonna be everybody's real life nightmare who's not black." So he started just how cops would just come up to like if he gets hey, this is going on in this area, right? So instead of like hey, there's a guy in a gray hoodie running from the scene, right? So instead of going to see the black guy in the gray hoodie, he go to the white guy. He started giving the white guy the business, harassing him and stuff like that, right? There's one scene we had there was a cop who was he had two black guys jacking him, and so he sort of like comes to the rescue, chokes off the cop, throws him in the trash dumpster, and it just goes from there. Like there's one other officer, new officer, black female officer. He kind of gained a little bond with a little bit. That's a really good movie. And again, it's not anything that can. I guess it can happen. Well, it did happen. Christopher Donner. So yeah, it's something that did happen in real life. So it can happen. A cop, goes up. I guess in some people may see, hey, a black cop, thinking clearly, because no matter what kind of job you do, if you're a black man, you're a black man first. That's how, even if you don't think so, that's how everybody's going to see you, as being a black man first. So you might as well own up to it and do what you got to do as a black man first, and everything else would follow. So that was a really good movie. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Black Cop. I would recommend Ride. By all means, avoid Mausoleum, avoid Gates of Hell, because those are absolutely, as Charles, we say terrible. Charles Barkley would say terrible. That was terrible. Those were two terrible movies, horrible movies, and horrible in a just terrible, just absolutely terrible. Man, let's get back to some music, man. Let's get back to let's play some Love Back by J Luck, man, on the GRM Presents Podcast. I'll be back. Oh yeah. Bring your love back to me. Yeah. Bring your love back to me. Yeah. Bring your love back to me. Sorry I left you. Left you crying. Oh baby, I'm begging you. Bring your love back to me. I remember the way you love me. Hate that I hurt you the way I did. Oh baby, I'm sorry. Now I'm half crazy because I miss you. You were so done with my pool and I don't think where do we go from here? I need another help to get up from here. Where do we go from here? And I wish I had my ready to go from here. Oh, sorry I left you. Left you crying. Oh, baby, I'm begging you. Bring your love back. Bring your love back. Bring your love back to me. 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 I've
'Cause your tears I left you drowning in sorrow. Now I'm half crazy thinking about you. But when a woman is better, she's good without you. Where do we go from here? I need another help to get up from here. Where do we go from here? And I wish I had my lady, but she gone from here. Oh, sorry I left you. Left you crying. Oh, baby, I'm begging you. Bring your love back to me. Bring your love back. Bring your love back to me. Yeah, yeah. Bring your love back to me. Yeah, yeah. Bring your love back to me. Yeah, yeah. Bring your love back to me. Bring your love back. Bring your love back to me. 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 Bring your love back to
You know, you really intimidate me. Maybe I should face it. Look, oh, boo, who was you? Looking at me from across the room, my anxiety booms. But your eyes so blue, it's water so I'm calm, but this is no. You looking fine as a dime. Picture us chilling late night, sipping wine. Only in the future when I can call your mind. But I'm a nigga that can talk, I want the line. Until then, I'm playing before my model. Switching by your looks and your talk, it's time to quarrel. I'm just talking, but we fucking that. Cause you looking like a goddess when I want you back, yeah. I be you doing you well, like you talking, if I be honest. I'm not on your level, but we can work on it, yeah. Oh, girl, I see you looking at me from a distance. God is my witness, I come with good intentions. So listen, I know that you ain't wishing that I'm starting to take up your attention, baby. Just listen, oh, such a trap, such a flirt, baby, we can work. You ethereal, you can go. Yeah. Judging by the cover, I wanna read the book. The plot got me shook, first glance got me hooked. Now take a look. Let me get lost in the world. If I was just a personal attack, I talk on my mind, I don't know how to act. Is it good if I just take a step back? Is it good if I just take back the track? If I'm feeling some type of way, all you my shit, I know that you don't play. From the way like skis got hard today. Better go look you that way. Intimidation, a challenge like facing. That ain't my case. Your aura got me shaking, oh. Got me feeling like I'm not worth your blood, that's a different, but I'm feeling nervous. You drip, drop, flex, fresh, I see cold flood, but you be getting real high, shows count mercy. Taking the time, I be you doing you well, like you talking, if I'm to be honest. I'm not on your level, but we can work on it, yeah. Oh, girl, I see you looking at me from a distance. God is my witness, I come with good intentions, so listen. I know that you ain't wishing that I'm trying to take up your attention, baby. Just listen, oh, such a trap, such a flirt, maybe we can work. You ethereal, we can go. Oh, yeah.
to get over. Where is the victory? What taught you to be?
I had to go, had to go. I had to, had to, had to go.
I had to go to get where I am. I had to go. I had to go. Had to go.
Had to, had to go.
I had to go to get where I am. Had to go, know how to live without. You know you can only get everybody more than you can know. Can't buy your life, no life, and I tried my best. Mountains just made to get over. It's not there for the stop, it's only there for the fight. Where is the wind? Without the fight to get over. Where is the victory?
I had to go, had to go. I had to go
I had to go.
to get where I am. I had to go, had to go.
I had to go to get where I am. Had to go. All I ever wanted to do was be my own. All I want to do is do the best. Give my best. Like how you did. All I ever wanted to do was be my own. All I want to do is do the best. Give my best. Like how you did. Take my time. Around the world. Stand around. Yeah. They feel like life was fine. Another path. It will take you to nowhere. Nowhere in the end. Before I come to the one who stayed the course. I had to go. Had to go. I had to go. I had to go to get where I am. I had to go. I had to go. Had to go. I had to go. Had to go. I had to go. I had to go to get where I am. I had to go. I had to go. Had to go. Had to go. I had to go. I had to go. Had to go.
More souls through the door. You got that vibe. You got that brain. Don't know nobody that got my mind so tired. You got that vibe. You got that brain. Don't know nobody that got my mind so tired. I like what I see. I saw that drip with her on me. Your market said on three. On tour, work that ass on me. The drip got that ass on me. And I only known you for a week. All your benefits on fleek. But you gotta work that booty meat like yeah. Like a scene from the silver screen like yeah. Show me you were born so fiend like yeah. You came too far to turn back like yeah. I want all that loving on me like yeah. We can start at the beach. There is no limit, the heights we can reach. Fucking so hard that we both lose our speech. Now I got you running, you scared of that. You got that vibe. You got that brain. Don't know nobody. They got my mind so tired. You got that so tired. I wanna go in the perfect blend, caress your skin, the optic lens can see you taking down the wind, you're shining in my window pane. You got the frame, it's not the game. I will sustain the flame. Yeah, put designer garments on you, put them all on you, and it's all on me. Ready, set, on three. Damn right, it's gonna be. Wanna put the grip on you, so true. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You got that vibe, you got that frame. Don't know nobody that got my mind so tired. You got that vibe, you got that frame. Don't know nobody that got my mind so tired.
And we're back. That was my man, Born Soul. Yeah, I like that song, man. Got that frame. Frame, man. Nice little song right there, man. Definitely would like to have Born Soul as a guest on this broadcast. Maybe we can make that happen in the near future. And played another one of my favorite songs, I Had to Go by Arthur J. And we also had, and I told you we were going to play this song by this young man, Javon with Jerk, another one of those talented young artists out in the Contra Costa County area, not the west side. Yeah, and I say the west earlier. I meant to say the east part of Contra Costa County, so not the part of Richmond, all that you might be more familiar with, especially people out here in the Bay Area, in the Oakland, San Francisco area. So yeah, you're used to, hearing great things come out of Richmond, California, which I've grown to like a lot. Growing up, I didn't like Richmond that much, man. But, Richmond has a lot of, great stuff going on. Richmond, El Bronte, El Cerrito, San Pablo. But Javon, he's from that other side, the Pittsburgh, Antioch, Concord, Brentwood side, and also Oakley is over there. So there's a lot of talented young people out there. So I wish them much success in all their endeavors, and hopefully we can get some of those artists again on this show. We started it off with J Luck. J Luck been on the show a couple of times with Love Back, another one of my favorites, my favorite artists out here in the Bay Area making noise, doing this thing. Wishing him much success as well. I want to talk about one more movie I've seen recently. This movie was called Candy. It's one of those so-called, black hood movies that deal with hood kind of stuff. Took place in I believe they said the 3rd Ward in Houston. So let me talk about the good stuff in this movie. The actual look of the movie, the cinematography, the movie looked good. They had some cool shots, basically, starting off in the beginning, so it looked like an actual movie from that standpoint. Generally, the people, black people on screen, they looked good on screen. Soundtrack sounded good. And then the problem you have with that movie, unless you're like a big fan of these, hood type movies about, drug dealing and stuff like that, they tried to have a little twist, starting off, because it's supposed to be about these 4 female jackers, going around robbing drug dealers, robbing rappers, jacking them, led by this girl named Candy. So it seems like, starting off, it's supposed to be about that, but then they venture off, and apparently Candy is a big-time drug dealer, and, all this stuff, and owns a hair salon, does hair, and jacking people. Candy does everything. Candy's a jacker. She's a successful, legit businesswoman, with a hair salon, jacking dudes with their stuff on the side and stuff like that. And drug dealing and setting up big time drug deals, moving weight and stuff. Candy's doing it big. So yeah, it ventures off into that. And, one of the problems in the movie seems like they give it narration. Like, what's a movie that does that a lot? Not Boys in the Hood, but what's the name of that movie? Menace to Society. It's like every 5 minutes, the Candy character is giving some narration about somebody. Yeah, this is my cousin Boo Bap. Boo Bap will put that heat on you. Every 5 minutes, you gotta do that. Show us what Boom Bob does. Don't be just every 5 minutes doing some kind of narration. It's like, we don't need that. We can actually see that so-and-so is a ruthless drug dealer. Just show us in the movie. Let me contrast it to the Candy film with Black Cop. Black Cop does that, but in Black Cop, they was doing it sort of like give you some insight on the story or the character giving us insight about something. It wasn't just narration, introducing stuff, telling us stuff that we can obviously see, So if they would have, left a lot, I can see in the beginning, okay, like open in 5 minutes, but 30 minutes, and then you got to do that for everybody, everything, So as usual with most of these, Black Hood movies, really the worst thing is the screenplay or the story. That's the worst thing about the movie, the story. It's like you tried to make this the twist about female jackers. If you would have just focused on that, it would have made a better movie because you have that element, but you really don't really get into that. It's like, okay, they female jackers, they jacking people, right? So let the story be about them jacking people and about them trying to hide their identity so they won't know who these, 4 females are who are jacking people. But it's like you get into the story about her being this big time dope dealer and stuff. And it to me, that sort of hurts the movie because usually if somebody's a big time drug dealer, okay, this is a drug dealing movie. It's not like Superfly where they doing stuff to get out eventually. It's like, well, now they trying to be the biggest drug dealers there is. Jacking the competition, killing the competition. It's like, okay, but you're doing all this jacking. In real life, wouldn't somebody know, okay, well, everybody else getting hit, you the only operation on the street that's not getting hit. So out of the process of elimination, it got to be your operation that's doing all the hits, the licks, because none of your people ain't coming up jacked or dead. So it would have to be you, right? That's how it would work in the streets process of elimination. Streets talk, especially the way they was doing stuff. It would definitely get back that, it's 4 females jacking people, right? So yeah, that movie, like I said, again, the look of it is good. Soundtrack is good. They got some, dope music. Storyline is weak. The main girl, she did a fair job being the actress. They had AJ Johnson in it from Bizelle from Friday. He looked like he gained about 100 pounds, literally. He looked like he gained about 100 pounds since Friday. He really looked like a fat, sloppy guy from the South in that movie. I mean, yeah, he gained about 100. AJ Johnson gained about 100 pounds. That's crazy because I had just seen him in some Master P movie, horribly made Master P movie about a year ago, and he didn't look that fat, but in this movie he looked like he just tossing back whole chickens and really enjoying that Southern cooking. Yeah, so yeah, that's an interesting aspect of it. But other than that, it's like the girls look good. But other than that, storyline is like, man, come on, man, really. But like I said, if they would have just kept it on the jacking aspect, they had a guy playing interesting cop. Yeah, they could have used that more to their advantage. But other than that, it's like, yeah, you can. Yeah, I wouldn't even waste my time watching that really and truly if I was anybody else. I couldn't really in all good mind, body, and soul, and good reasonably individual in my right mind. I couldn't recommend that. I couldn't. I just could not recommend that to people. Because it's not. It wasn't. All that. Yeah, it really wasn't interesting at all unless you're just somebody who just like watching hood movies. If you're that individual, then you're that individual person who like watching the hood type movies, then you might really be into it. If not, yeah, it's not really for you. Other than that, I give them props for like making a movie. But as far as like the actual film itself, man, it was not good. Let's get into some more music. Let's get into some all black. Check it out.